In August 2025, Norway took one of the most significant defense decisions in its modern history: the purchase of at least 5 Type 26 anti-submarine frigates from the United Kingdom in a contract valued at approximately $13.5 billion United States dollars. To many, this may look like a standard naval modernization program, but beneath it lies a deeper strategic reorientation of the entire Nordic region. The High North, stretching from the Norwegian Sea through the Barents to the Arctic Circle, is becoming the center of gravity for Europe's next generation of maritime power. Norway's choice of the British Type 26 is not simply about acquiring ships. It is about positioning itself at the front line of a rapidly evolving maritime order where the ability to detect, deter, and dominate beneath the ice may decide the future balance of power. Norway's decision was guided by both operational logic and geopolitical prudence. The Type 26, designed by BAE Systems, is the quietest and most advanced anti-submarine platform currently offered by any Western shipyard. Equipped with a towed array sonar, flexible mission bay, and compatibility with Kongsberg's Naval strike missile and the American Tomahawk system, it provides a mix of stealth, endurance, and multi-role adaptability. Competing options such as the Franco-Italian FREM or the German F-125 could not match its dedicated anti-submarine specialization or its full interoperability with NATO's Link 22 digital network. For Norway, whose coastline stretches across some of the most challenging undersea terrain on Earth, the choice was clear: to build a navy that could listen and strike before being seen. The industrial logic is equally compelling. The program will not only bring new frigates, but will embed Norwegian industry into the British-led supply chain. Kongsberg Defence will co-develop elements of the combat management system, and Norwegian yards will contribute to assembly, maintenance, and logistics. This structure ensures both sovereignty and sustainability. For London, it expands the export base of the Type 26 family, already adopted by Australia and Canada, transforming the design into a de facto standard of the Anglosphere. For Oslo, it cements a defense industrial bridge with the United Kingdom and indirectly ties Norway closer to the AUKUS technological sphere, even without formal membership. Strategically, these ships will become the keystone of the High North defense architecture. Norway's geography is decisive. It controls the maritime approaches to the Barents Sea, the exit routes of Russia's northern fleet based in Murmansk, and a network of undersea energy cables that power much of Europe. The new frigates will operate alongside P-8A Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft, a system already proven in the cold northern seas, and integrate with the regional sonar array stretching across the Norwegian and Greenland seas. In effect, Norway is building a layered anti-submarine shield that can detect any hostile movement long before it reaches the Atlantic. Within NATO, the ships will act as nodes in a combined task group linking British, Canadian, and American assets, giving the alliance an uninterrupted chain of command and surveillance across the Arctic Rim. Beyond pure defense, the project represents the embryo of a High North Navy, a concept that transcends national boundaries. The United Kingdom brings design expertise, radar and combat systems. Norway contributes proximity, Arctic experience, and infrastructure. Denmark, Sweden, and Iceland, each with their own capabilities, are gradually weaving into this web of shared patrols, logistics, and training. The result is a distributed fleet, interconnected through data and doctrine, that can operate collectively without requiring a single centralized command. This cooperative model mirrors what AUKUS and the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue are attempting in the Indo-Pacific, yet adapted to the frozen seas of the North. It may one day evolve into a permanent North Atlantic fleet, complementing NATO's 6th Fleet in the South. The rise of this naval coalition has not gone unnoticed. Russia perceives it as a direct challenge to the strategic bastion of its nuclear submarines on the Kola Peninsula. In response, Moscow is reinforcing its northern fleet with new Yasen-M and Borai-A submarines and increasing patrols through the Guyuk Gap between Greenland, Iceland, and the United Kingdom. The United States welcomes Norway's initiative, as it reduces the burden on American forces and strengthens the alliance's deterrence posture. But the geopolitical consequences extend beyond the Euro-Atlantic theater. China, although not a military actor in the Arctic, views the region through the lens of its Polar Silk Road ambitions. Beijing has invested in Arctic research bases, energy ventures, and port access routes that could connect to its broader belt and road network. A stronger Nordic naval presence indirectly constrains those ambitions, tightening Western oversight over potential Chinese logistic expansion in the polar zone. The emergence of this High North Navy carries lessons for other regions, particularly Asia. Norway's model demonstrates how small nations, when acting in concert and guided by a coherent strategic vision, can multiply their defensive power far beyond their economic size. By focusing on specific niches, anti-submarine warfare, command integration, and Arctic mobility, Oslo avoids the trap of spreading resources thin. This concept of deterrence in depth, built upon regional interoperability and shared industry, is exactly what Southeast Asian nations could emulate to safeguard their maritime domains. Rather than pursuing fragmented procurement, countries could coordinate around a common operational goal, whether coastal defense, mine warfare, or air surveillance. The Nordic precedent proves that regional defense integration is not only possible, but also profitable. For China, this transformation in the north is an unwelcome but inevitable development. The Arctic represents a frontier of untapped resources and potential alternative shipping lanes that could bypass choke points such as the Strait of Malacca. Yet every step Beijing takes toward the polar route meets an increasingly organized Western defense belt, stretching from the North Atlantic to the Pacific. Norway's Type 26 fleet will feed data into that belt, reinforcing the trans-polar surveillance grid. In geopolitical terms, the Arctic and the South China Sea are now mirrors, two peripheral theaters where control of the commons translates into global leverage. The deeper message of Norway's naval gamble is that geography may be cold, but strategy is never frozen. The investment of $13.5 billion United States dollars is not about prestige. It is a calculated assertion that even a mid-sized power can define the tempo of regional security if it aligns its industry, diplomacy, and technology under a unified concept. When these frigates enter service around 2032, they will symbolize more than metal and sensors. They will embody a national choice to face the 21st century from a position of initiative rather than reaction. The Arctic, long perceived as remote and passive, is fast becoming a maritime crossroads akin to the South China Sea. Energy routes, data cables, and strategic minerals converge there, while melting ice opens new passages for commerce and confrontation alike. The United Kingdom and Norway, by anchoring their cooperation in the Type 26 program, are effectively writing the first chapter of a northern maritime doctrine that will shape European defense for decades. It is a doctrine based not on confrontation, but on presence, on the ability to watch, to listen, and, if necessary, to act before others can. For observers in Asia and beyond, the rise of the High North Navy is a reminder that strategic foresight still matters. Power today is not measured by territory or population, but by coherence, the ability to turn geography into strategy and partnerships into capability. Norway has done just that. Through discipline, investment, and alignment with its allies, it has transformed the edge of Europe into a bastion of deterrence. From the frozen waters of the Barents to the contested straits of the Pacific, the principle remains the same. The nations that prepare early, cooperate deeply, and act decisively will shape the future of the seas. If you wish to explore the technical structure of Norway's Type 26 class, its differences from the British version, and its role within the evolving Arctic Command Network, leave your comment below. Subscribe and stay with this channel as we continue our High North Series 2030, analyzing how the new fleets of the far north are redefining the world's maritime frontier.